Remember the Constitution. You are violating our First Amendment rights. We have a permit to be here. You are violating our First Amendment rights. We have a permit to be here. You are violating the Constitution. You are violating our First Amendment rights. We have the right to be here. We have a peaceful right to assemble. You are violating my First Amendment rights. I am a combat veteran. You are violating my Constitution.
Well, they came under the cover of darkness at 5 o'clock this morning. For those of you who were watching my feed yesterday, you know that we were waiting for Park Police to show up because they were claiming that Columbus Circle was being closed for construction. I want to be abundantly clear. There is still currently no construction going on at Columbus Circle, but we waited all day for them yesterday. They did not show, but they came at 5 o'clock this morning under the cover of darkness. As you saw, they put their hands on our people who were holding the line. We have a permit to be there until January 10th. They physically removed our people from the tent. As you saw in that video, they barricaded our tents up, and then they began to steal all of our stuff. They removed our tents and took it. Now, as you know, the Fourth Amendment protects you from illegal seizures. They've illegally seized our stuff. There was no judge's warrant that signed off allowed them to violate our Fourth Amendment rights, so we will be pursuing that. I'm going to have a video up here a little bit later today about our next steps, but just so you know, they raided us at 5 o'clock this morning, threw our people out physically, and stole our equipment.
I'm looking forward to discussing the worldwide threats that this country faces and the work that President Trump and his administration does each and every day to make America safe again. I'm very privileged and honored today to have my family with me. I'd like to introduce them to you.
Disruptions of congressional business is a violation of law, is a criminal offense under federal law. Audience members are advised to take their seats and maintain order. The chairman may now ask Capitol Police to remove and arrest the persons creating the disturbance.
Get ICE off our streets! Stop terrorizing our community! Get ICE off our streets! Stop terrorizing our community! Get ICE off our streets! Stop terrorizing our community!
Secretary, make.
Get off my steps! Not today and not in this school!
We're leaving, all right.
Move it! Go on, you hear me? Call me Batwoman, because you won't be harassing my students on my watch!
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time, oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 9:12 a.m. Look, Rich, 9:12. Yep, there you go. I don't have my microphone plugged in. Let me go get the mic. I forgot to plug it in since the last show. So, and I just plugged it in a few minutes ago, so I don't know. I don't know. I forgot to plug it into the charger. So if all of a sudden I get no audio, it'll be because of that. Let's see. Let's plug this in. Oh, shit. Damn it. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, so we got that going. All right, I'm just finishing up my breakfast. I did a really short intro because, kind of woke up a little later because I was up late last night. For those of you that went along with me for a little bit of my taxi driving last night, you know that I was out last night driving. Thanks for being there. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see, where are we at here? Got my little holiday background. It does make it harder to see the chat, though. But let's see. So we got Nick Rich here. Nick Rich. I'm not able to go all the way to the top. I'm pretty sure Sandy Foltz was the first. We got Nick Rich. Michael McAndrews is here. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Anna Moore. Hello, Anna Moore. Mr. Spock is here. There's Jolie. We got Jolie in the driver's lounge. WW is here. Good to see you. Danny Pomeroy. Hey, Danny Pomeroy. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Nick Rich, 12 noon Eastern. Let's see here. I'm just scrolling down a little bit. People having back issues. Susie Jones is here. Hello, Susie. I got to laugh because Susie was staying up to catch my live stream for a little bit, and then I think you conked out. Nick Rich, I've been here for about 20 minutes already. Be right back. Jolie's got some snow coming her way, looks like. And she's excited. Yesterday, I think we got to like 73 freaking degrees yesterday. And I know people love it. You know, they love it. Hey, it's 73 and it's December 10th or whatever. But it's not a good sign. That's not a good sign for us. We got William here. Thanks, William, for coming on in. Hanging out for a bit. Roxanne 79 is here. Anna Moore says that was fun last night. DPD 5844, your comments cracked me up. Who DPD's comments cracked you up? Is DPD 5844 here? Oh, there's DPD 5844. I skipped over you. Thanks for being here. WW with a $2.22 super chat. Yippee! Going out to WW. Thanks so much. Get a thumbs up and a heart. 3, 4, lock the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. I don't know why what's that about? Jolie says, I fell asleep during the show last night. I had to get up at 7 a.m. I'm already ready for a nap. Me too. Nola Carnes is here. Hey, Nola, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Susie Jones with some news, and I did sort of hear that briefly on. I was watching Stephanie Miller, and I think Chris brought it up or somebody about the judge orders Kilmar Obrega released from ICE custody. I kind of lost track. He's in custody. He's out of custody. He's in custody. Quite frankly, so and that's probably what they want. They want us to forget about these people. They want to lock them up, and then we just forget about it. So it's good that we keep it out there, keep the story alive. Nick Rich, what's TJ having for breakfast? That was a bacon, sausage, and cheese croissant. Croissant. A croissant. Croissant. How do those French people say it? Croissant? A croissant? DPD 5844, I'm notorious germophobic. I'm not. I don't even worry about stuff until it happens, and then I'm like pissed off. .007 Kevin, Troll Slayer's here. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Robert Perez from down San Diego way is here. Robert says, yo, top of the morning to you, Trucker John. And a hearty howdy do to all the trucklers in the lounge. Damon Dog the Big Dog is here. Sandy Foltz is here. Sandy says, nice background. That will probably be the background for the next, until the end of the month. Or unless I do another something else Christmassy. Sandy Foltz, $2 super chat. Yippee, Sandy Foltz, thank you so much. There's your thumbs up and the heart. I do appreciate you. DPD 54, TJ should be wearing a Christmas themed sweater. I don't think I have any. Or I would. I'm just trying to think if I might have one in storage, which is way far away from here. Yeah. But if I had one, I would. I would wear one. I would wear the ugliest Christmas sweater I could find. DPD 54 says, I hope, or yay for him. Although you spelled yeah. But anyhow, for him, I hope he sues the motherfuckers. Me too. I hope all these people that have been getting wrongfully prosecuted, wrongfully persecuted, wrongfully shipped off to prisons and wrongfully deported, wrongfully accosted in any way, I hope they all sue the fuck out. And, you know, I guess ultimately it's coming out of the taxpayer dollar, but still they need to sue the fuck out of these motherfuckers. Damon Dog, time for coffee. I do have a coffee. I just ran over to 7-Eleven right before the show. Because I was out of orange juice, and I have to start my morning with orange juice. So I just grabbed a coffee there. Instead of making it here, I just grabbed a coffee from over there, grabbed some orange juice, and I grabbed that sandwich, that croissant sandwich, breakfast sandwich. You know, even though I have stuff to make here, but it was just quicker to do it that way. It was just quicker, faster. I might be a little groggy this morning. Although, truth be told, full disclosure, transparency, all that shit, I did Uber home last night. Because I guess I got back to the yard sort of in between buses, and at that time of night, the buses they don't run as frequently. So the next bus was going to be almost an hour wait, and I didn't feel like waiting an hour, so I was like, screw it. Now it was a little cheaper last night than usual. You know, they do like, you know, surge pricing or whatever. And lately the prices to get back and forth to work have been over $25, 25, 26, sometimes even into the 30s or whatever. But last night, to do the wait and save, if you guys are familiar with Uber, they have a thing, wait and save. So if you wait a few extra minutes, it's a couple bucks cheaper. So it was actually $18. So that's not too bad. I mean, that's, you know, $7-8 cheaper than what I've been normally paying. So, but I didn't feel like waiting another whole hour, you know. So I was like, screw it. MJ Daniels here from up there, Washington State, says Carlin had a funny bit about germs. WW needs to turn up the heat. I was almost thinking about opening a window because it was feeling too warm in here, and I haven't turned on the air conditioning or the heater at all. I haven't had the AC on in a few weeks now, and I haven't even ever turned on the heater yet. But when I walked, like after I walked to 7-Eleven and then came back, when I first stepped in, it felt like too warm in here. I was like, man, maybe I should crack up a window, but then I didn't because I started doing other stuff. So, but now that I've reacclimated to my room here, I feel fine. Hey, there's Vikika, who is also known by another name that I forget. I don't remember the. Oh, Barefoot Bear? Is it Barefoot Bear? Hello, Barefoot Bear. I think that's Barefoot Bear. Yeah, Big Hook. Big Hook is here. Big Hook was on the taxi ride with me last night. Thanks for checking back in today, Big Hook. Big Hook says the ugly sweater competition begins then. Roxanne79 says, sorry I missed anyone if I'm multitasking, but hello, trucklers. I mean, you are not if you're mouth. Oh, whatever. I'm groggy. I've got the fog of war in my brain right now. To somewhat paraphrase, what's his face? Nut breath. Damon Dog, I have a shirt that shows off my nipples. A Christmas shirt. Not just any shirt, but a Christmas shirt. MJ Daniel says some dumb fucker rear-ended me the other day. Now we're going to have to deal with the insurance people. Nobody hurt, but it sucks. Yeah, I'm glad no one got hurt. That's first and foremost, but yeah, it sucks. It's a hassle. And it just sucks. Like, you know, if you like your car and it's in decent shape and then somebody fucks it up, you know, it just sucks. Big Hook says, you just know they will get pardoned by Trump and take their grifting windfall out of the country afterwards. Who's going to get pardoned? Peter Thiel and those guys. Nick Rich, Uber took your tax-free tips. Yeah, well, not all of them. $18 of them. Well, plus a $5 tip, so $23 of them. I should be able to write off all my Ubers. I'm going to see if I can write off my Ubers because I'm doing that for work. See what my tax man says about that. WW, money is imaginary. How will you take it? How much will it take to make your own personal soft landing? You know, I got to just fuck with WW a little bit there. Nick Rich, TJ needs an e-bike. Like we were talking last night. Well, with Bigfoot. Maybe you weren't. I guess you weren't there, Nick Rich. But yeah, we had a whole conversation about the e-bikes. And in fact, there's an e-trike that I really want to get. It's called the Meet One Breeze Pro, and it looks comfortable. Has a comfortable seat. It's almost like a recumbent, but it's not fully recumbent. But so the pedals are kind of out in front of you a little bit better. It has a big wide seat. It has a back, like a seat back, not a back seat, but a seat back. And although I think you can put a back seat on it, but it does have a big. You can get a big like a storage thing in the back. So it'd be great for going shopping. You know, grocery shopping. I think it goes 23 miles an hour top speed. They say from all the videos, everyone who reviews it say that it's the most comfortable e-bike or trike that they've ever ridden. It's some trikes if you turn, you have to be really careful because they kind of tip. They said this one really didn't have the tipping. It does have these little kind of like almost like wheelie bars on the back that helps it from tipping like backwards. Anyhow, it looks really nice. I think it's about $1,600. So that's what I'm going to be saving my tax-free tips up for. Hey, there's Elizabeth Martinez. Buenos dias. John, watch you late night taxi. So you watched me last night. Were you watching me on the taxi ride? Well, thanks, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. Maybe I'll do it again. I guess it's so you guys don't mind if I do those, do you? I mean, I don't know if the mods, yeah, and Jolie and Aaron, if you guys, if it's, I don't expect you to be on every single thing. I know you guys have lives of your own and schedules and you got to sleep. So if I'm doing all these weird times and stuff, don't hesitate if you need to do your own thing or whatever. But I do appreciate you guys being there. But maybe we'll do another one. I know it's not the best quality. I don't have. It's like I say, it's just the cup holder mount, and so you're not seeing very much. But it is kind of fun to have you guys come along with me. In between trips, I can say hi and stuff. Yeah. So Elizabeth was there last night, watching the taxi ride. I appreciate you, Elizabeth Martinez. Damon Dog says it's going to be 12 degrees this weekend. Way too cold for the bike. Yeah, you get a wind chill factor going on that. DPD 5844 says in Indiana, Mike Braun has announced he will be closing Martin University, a historical black college. The racist fucks have no shame. I have advised the students to put KKK poster with his face on it. Is Mike Braun the Indiana governor? Or... Anyhow, it's just this is what having Trump as president has done. I mean, we've had the racists. The racists have always been there, but he has emboldened them to do this shit. You know, they feel safe because of Trump. They feel safe to be as racist as they fucking want. And it sucks. And it's, yeah, so yeah, put the KKK stamp on that motherfucker's forehead, you know? David Weiss from Denver's here. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. I do appreciate you popping on in. WW, I love my car, but 15 years old, can't last much longer. You've been talking about that car ever since I've known you, WW. And you're always like, I'm looking at a Tesla. All right. John Glad's here. Always glad to see John Glad. In the driver's lounge. Thanks, John Glad, for being here. John Glad 5. Troll Slayer. Kevin says, I hope Trump's brain gets pardoned. Really? Big Hook says, if it's rear end, isn't it their fault unless they can prove you caused it by slamming on your brakes? That's usually the case. That's what they say. Sunny Folks, have you seen Mr. Scraps? Well, the name is Scrapes, and I actually haven't seen him in a few days. Hope he's all right. MJ Daniel says, I was sitting at a red light, and this idiot told me he was looking at a homeless guy to see if he had a dog. What the fuck? He should have been looking at the car ahead of him, right? Yeah. DPD 5844 says, I encourage everyone to call Merrill Lynch in Connecticut to call out Jim Iannazzo. He berated high school students with racial slurs, and he assaulted one by throwing a cup at her. Wow. Like I told you, they're emboldened. Trump has emboldened them. Nick Rich, my e-scooter goes 22 miles an hour, fast enough for me. Yeah, especially on a scooter. That's pretty fast. You're really scooting on a scooter. Like I said, about anything I would get would probably go around 20 miles an hour. So it would probably take me about an hour to get to work, because I think it's maybe just under 20 miles from here to work. It might be like 17 or 18 miles. Plus you have stoplights and stuff, so it might be more than an hour. But still, that cuts off almost in half the time it takes to take the bus. WW says one problem is where to store and charge. Well, I could keep the bike there on the property. I wouldn't have a problem. Or there's lots of places I could just park it. I could even throw a lock on it and a chain, like a bike chain or whatever, and lock it up. And some of these have enough range, at least from what they claim. I should have enough range to go there and back. But if needed, there are outlets where I work. I don't work, in a tent. They have electrical outlets, so. And I don't think it'd be a problem to plug in or whatever. But according to what these bikes claim, there should be range, because figure less than 40 miles round trip, and a lot of these are saying they have ranges of over 100 miles. Some of them are but a lot of them are like 80, 90 miles, whatever, so 70 miles. Of course, with me being heavy, I'm heavy set, and then of course how much you're just using the electric motors and not pedaling, how much you're going against the wind, if there's any inclines, all that stuff affects your range. So, but like I said, I think I could plug in at an outlet at work if need be. Rock says 79. What time in Eastern time did Taxi's TJ ride start? About 11 p.m. Yeah, it was 80. I think it was like 8:02 or 8:03 last night, Pacific time. So just add 3 hours. About 11:03, I believe. I know it's late for you East Coasters. GPT54 says yes. TJ Braun is the governor of Indiana. Big Hook says South Park was pretty funny and included an Epstein reference. Sandy Fultz, did you get your water last night? I did. I guess you must have tuned out. I went into Walgreens on the Strip, and I got a bottle of water and a little snack. Jolie says racists need to go back to muttering racist things under their breath instead of just being out and proud about it. Yeah. Except now we know who they are. I mean, there's no doubt. So we know who to sue, I guess. I don't know. We know who to arrest when we take over. Oh, speaking of scrapes, I can hear his voice. He's talking outside. I don't hear him scraping along. Anamore says, TJ, sorry you were stiffed by that one passenger last night, but I had fun watching the sights. I got stiffed by 2 people last night. I guess the first one yeah, I get that's when I first started, I think. It was a lady. Where did I pick her up at? I picked her up probably Caesars or Bellagio, I forget. And I took her to MGM Grand. No, I think I picked her up at Park MGM, took her to MGM Grand. She seemed nice. We had a pleasant conversation. No tip. She paid with a credit card. She could have put a tip on there. No tip. And then later on was that one dude that everyone said was annoying, that one guy. I think his was, he was having a hard time operating the card reader. I think maybe he thought he tipped. I'm willing to give him benefit of the doubt, even though you guys all said he's a jerk. And so maybe, maybe he intentionally didn't tip, but he didn't tip. So that, I think I had 2. I think those were the only 2 out of the 15. I had 15 rides last night. WW says Equinox, Chevy EV, also a Ford is coming out and might be able to buy Chinese cars soon. Mr. Spock, a small Jetson moped fit in the trunk. Stephanie B2's here. Hey, Steph, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in, hanging out with us for a little bit. Roxanne79 says, my brakes work good. Had to slam on them to avoid hitting a squirrel in my neighborhood. All my CD books and shit came flying forward and squirrel hopped happily away. I was so relieved. I try not to hit the wildlife. I mean, I do, but I've also made it a point where I'm not going to kill myself to save whatever it is. I'm not saying that's what you did, but I'm just saying from my own experience. Like I sort of have a limit as to how much I'm going to swerve and possibly roll my car or my vehicle or my truck, my big rig, especially when I was driving big rigs. So if I could avoid them, I would do it, but I really didn't. If I hit them, I killed just about everything there is to kill except for a bear. I know I killed some deer. I'm sure I killed squirrels. I know I killed some fucking armadillos. Those things explode like watermelons. Turtles. I had no choice. I mean, I had absolutely no. I hated every second of it. There must have been a migration of turtles. There were thousands and thousands and thousands of these turtles going across this little tiny 2-lane road that had no shoulder on it and no way that I could turn around. And the only thing I could do was just plow right through them. I've killed lots of animals, and I did not lose one second of sleep over it. That makes me sound heartless, but I love animals, and like I said, if I could avoid it, I'll avoid it. But I'm not going to kill myself to save an animal. Nola Carter's $2 super chat. Yippee! Nola Carter's, he's probably saying, I regret. Boy, do I regret after hearing that. I regret doing that. But thank you, Nola. I do appreciate you. There's your thumbs up. There's a heart for you. Nola says, glad to be here. And Trump is trash. There you go. Get that in. Get that. Got to get that in there. Trump is trash. Trump is. I tell you what. Trump will not be missed when his time comes. And he leaves this mortal coil. Is that how it is? I don't think he's going to be missed by even his own children. That's how despicable he is. Alton Gillespie's here. Hey, Alton from Texas. There, good to see you. Bob Newell. Hey, Bob Newell. Have not seen Bob Newell in forever. Thanks for being here, Bob. Yeah, long time no see. Where you been? You just got out of lockup? You just got out of county or what? Mr. Spock, you have to take your battery with you or it will get stolen. You guys seem to think that I work at some sort of, like, I don't know, slum or something. I think the people I work with are pretty good people. I really don't think they're going to steal my battery. Now, if I left it out like in front of a grocery store, I might take the battery. But a lot of them, they just clip right out. You can just take it with you. But at work, I think I got some pretty decent people that work there. I don't think I really have to worry about people ripping off my battery at work. I don't know where you guys work. Maybe the scumbag lowlifes you work with would steal the battery. Not my guys and gals. Guys and gals. You know, we are taxi drivers. We are a noble, honorable bunch. Bob Newell says top speed on my golf cart is 20 miles hour. Well, there you go. I should just get a golf cart. Drive it to work. I guess I'm mid-thread. I guess someone asked Big Hook about something, and Big Hook is saying it was okay. Included many references as well as religious hypocrisy at its worst in regards to the abortion issue, with Trump trying to end. Oh, this was about South Park, I guess. In the baby with Satan via Peter Thiel, Antichrist expert. Yeah, that must have been South Park. Thanks for all those spoilers. Damon Dog says, pro tip, most fast mart type stores have outlets outside near the bagged ice box. Good tip. Mr. Bob Newell, I can't hear you. WW, I have a take and bake pizza that I need to bake once I start feeling hungry. Okay. Roxanne79 says, AM, I know, right, totally oblivious. I thought for sure he was under my front tire. I was about to get out and he bounced away. It would have fucked my week up if I killed. I've never run over any animal. Oh, then you would hate me. You would hate if you were ever a passenger in my truck, in my big truck. I'm not wrecking a big truck to save a fucking squirrel. I'm sorry. Bob Newell, have you ever been to Alaska? I have not. I have not. Roxanne, I went to bed at 11. So yeah, you were going to bed just as I went on. As I went on the live stream last night. Mr. O'Brien, how much water costs in Las Vegas? I don't know. I don't think I pay for it. I don't know. Hey, Victor Harshman's here. Hey, Victor, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Victor Harshman says, morning, folks. Watching live stream of the record flooding in Northwest Washington. Absolutely insane. Send some love for them. Wow, Northwest Washington. Be careful up there, MJ. I think MJ's Eastern Washington. Oh, no, you're in Seattle area, aren't you? So be careful. That flooding. Like I said, I always tip. If I can't afford, I don't go. You know, and I do think that anyone, and since I've been doing cab and rideshare, anyone that hasn't tipped, I don't think it's because they couldn't afford it. I think it's because either they come from a culture where they don't tip, so they're not familiar with it, or a lot of them are these young kids. I call them kids, but they're like 20 somethings, and I think they have a thing about tipping because I know my kids talk about that. They're in their 20s, mid 20s now, late 20s, but they've always had this thing about that they don't believe in tipping. So I think it's an age thing. But the people last night, they were definitely in the demographic of where tipping has been, and they definitely were Americans. They weren't from some other country. Because some people from some other countries, I don't think they know about tipping. But then some people from other countries tip very well. So I mean, it just depends on the country, I guess. But yeah, I think every time I've been stiffed, it's by someone who it's not because they couldn't afford it. And look, I like getting a big $10 tip. I've had $20 tips. I've had $80 tips. I've had $87 tips. Those are fine, and those are great. But even if you just tip me $2, I'm happy. I mean, at least I just feel like it's like, oh, thanks, the little extra, $2-3, is all I need to make me happy. But I try not to get too upset because I do know that it seems like every time someone stiffs me, the next rider or somewhere down the road will tip me extra to make up for it. It almost always happens without fail. Like last night, I got a couple of $10 tips, or even a little over $10 tip. So, it all works out. Stephanie B2 says it's against the, I guess, law. No, it's against, I think, the law to swerve to avoid hitting an animal. Ask me how I know. How do you know, Stephanie? How do you know? I've seen plenty of trucks rolled over along the highway, a few FedEx, and that could be for any variety of reasons. It's not just because of a squirrel. A lot of it's high speed, could be wind. Lots of things. Well, Carter says you can get a ticket if you swerve. No swerving. Roxanne said this was a neighborhood. I was the only one on the road. I know, poor Roxanne. It's like everyone's. So Roxanne's got to defend herself. Says this was the neighborhood. I was the only one on the road, but yes, on a main road, I wouldn't slam on my brakes. I have come close. I know it's sort of just a reaction, right? He said my mom saves turtles from the road all the time, and the thing with the turtles, I mean, to this day I didn't lose any sleep over it, but I still the memory of it is cringeworthy. I mean, and it's like I did feel so bad because it was literally. I want to say, I don't know, man. It seemed like forever. Probably like 3 or 4 miles where I was on this. I think this is somewhere in Texas or some shit. And I was out in the middle of fucking nowhere on this little tiny. It was like a farm road, a 2-lane. It was paved and shit. And that's the way I was routed to go. I don't remember where I was going. It might have been some Walmart, because Walmart puts their DCs out in the middle of fucking nowhere a lot of times because these fucking billionaires are too cheap to build closer to town, I think. But anyhow, I digress. And the entire road was just, I mean, you almost couldn't see the road for how many turtles there were. Because at first, I'm on the road, and the road is just, it's just fine. There was no warning. It was just all of a sudden turtles crossing the road so thick that, I mean, you couldn't see the pavement. And I remember holding on to the steering wheel, and I was like screaming and going and saying I'm sorry. I think because you could hear, you're crushing the shells, right, with your tires. And so I'm just like, for like 3 miles of just solid turtles. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. I mean, I guess I could have just stopped. But then I'm not backing up on a highway, or it wasn't a highway. It was like a farm road, but it was a paved road. I can't just back up out of there. There was no place to turn around. There was absolutely like no shoulder, nothing, no turnarounds. All I could do was just plow through them, man. And I'm just like, ah, except my eyes were open. But that was just horrible. That was the most horrible thing. Just murdering all of these fucking turtles. I mean, I don't know how many. I must have killed thousands of turtles that day. Damn it, dog. Armadillos are just possums with armor. That's another one. I think that was in. Well, I saw armadillos a lot in a lot of places, but I remember they're pretty thick down in Louisiana, down Liberal Dan's way, and I can remember being on I-10, sort of east of New Orleans, Nolans. Going, I think it was I-10 coming through there at nighttime, and you would see these armadillos on the side of the road, just sort of waddling around, but just on the side. But then every now and then there's one right in the road, and you've got it's pretty heavily trafficked. Nothing I can do. I can't avoid them. Bam! I remember looking in my rearview mirror, and I could see like one of my the rear tandems of the trailer hit the armadillo, and I could just see in the mirror just this like. It's like remember when Gallagher would smash watermelons with his sledgehammer? That's what I saw in the mirror, just like, and it wasn't just once; it was quite a few times. And I was like, "What the fuck was all the armadillos?" Anyhow, it is what it is. But hey, I feel you. Roxanne. I don't want to hit any animal, and I know your reaction, your first reaction is just like try to avoid it or whatever. Um, I mean, one time I hit a cat. This is way back. I would think I was still in high school, and I was driving through my town, just like it's all residential neighborhood, and a cat came out, and I ran over the cat, and I killed the cat, and I felt so bad. I pulled over, and there was a house right the house where it happened, and I'm pretty sure that cat was their cat, and I remember I felt so bad that I actually went up to their door, and I knocked on the door. I didn't carry the cat. I didn't pick up the cat. Like, here's your cat. But I remember going like, I think I just killed your cat. And the lady she was very nice. It was some lady answered the door. I go, and I forget I don't even remember what color the cat was now, but I described the cat. She goes, yeah, that sounds like our cat. I go, I think I ran it over, and I'm pretty sure I killed it. I go, I'm sorry. And then she was just like, she just goes, thank you for telling me. And she's like, she goes, it happens. It's not your fault or whatever. And I go, I feel, this is when I was still like, 17 or 18. I was still in high school. This is before I got, became the jaded, piece of shit that I am now. But she's like, thank you for telling me. I go, yeah, I think it's right out there by the driveway or something, And she goes, we'll check it out. Thank you. And I go, okay. And I just, slink back to my car, my shoulders down. I felt really bad. But anyhow, Roxanne says armadillos are noisy at night. I think they're the ones knocking my flower pots over. Probably. It's either that or raccoons. You know, those raccoons. Bob Newell says, I think trash is better than Trump. Yeah, trash might be too kind of a word, huh? Alton Gillespie says more people in the U.S. are killed by deer than any other animal. I've seen the videos where they start like boxing you. They're almost like kangaroos. They get up there and they're like, that's when you just whip out your 44 Magnum. I don't even know if that's a thing. Hopefully my mic is still working. I should look up here every now and then. Roxanne 79 says, I have a feeling Dinky's going to go on TV and we'll see the devil's spirit fly out of him to open the gates of hell for him. Big Hook says, line up to piss on Trump's grave. They will sell tickets probably for the privilege. Yeah, Damon Dog says, that's right, there is a key. That's right, I've seen that in the videos. Damon Dog says, the battery locks in place and needs a key to release it. Same key turns the battery on and off. Yeah, I have seen that in some of the videos. That's right, I forgot about that. Yola Carr says, I knew people who would go out and steal batteries and bring them to my house to hide my crazy days. I had someone steal a battery out of my 59 El Camino. This is when I was after high school, and this is when, a few years after high school, and this is when I was working for a carpet installation company. And I parked my car at this park and ride, because I remember I parked it there, and then some of the guys from the job picked me up, and then because I think we were going down to LA to do a job. We did a lot of jobs in LA. We were up in Hesperia. Well, they were out of Hesperia, up in the high desert in California, and but we had a lot of jobs down in LA and Orange County and stuff. And I remember I just parked my car at the park and ride, and then that night when we got back, they dropped me off, and then they took off because I just didn't think anything was wrong. And I get in my car was completely dead. And I was like, I had just bought a brand new fucking battery, actually. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm thinking, did they sell me a bad battery or something? So I popped the hood, and the fucking battery's gone. And this is a 59 El Camino, and so it didn't have like, you could just unlock the hood. I mean, you didn't have to go. There was no like hood release latch inside the car. It's 59, right? They didn't do that shit in 59. So I was like, fuck, I'm stuck here. I'm stranded. Some assholes. And the thing is as soon as I saw that, I flashed back in my mind, and I know exactly who stole it. I mean, I don't know who they were, but I remember when we were leaving, and we were driving out, and I looked and I saw these dudes in the park and ride that looked fucking suspicious to me. But at the time, I didn't say anything or do anything because I just thought they were just parking their cars too and going to work or whatever. But there was something about these guys that was fishy. Like, they were looking around at cars. They were looking. Like, there was just. I remember there was something. So I know it was those guys. I am 100% sure. But at the time, I didn't. Didn't really. I just remember it kind of caught my attention where I remember looking at these dudes, and but then we just kept going to work, and then I was just like, just forgot about it. So then, so now I'm stranded. And back in there, this is back in the 80s, early 80s. There's no fucking. This is like in 82 or something. There's no fucking cell phones. I think there was a payphone. There might have been a gas station nearby. I think there was a gas station with a payphone. A gas station, that didn't sell batteries. Didn't have like a garage. Or I think it was just, convenience store, AM PM or something. So I think I had to go to the payphone. I think I called my dad. My dad had to come out and get me. I think he brought a battery. My dad, took a battery out of one of the other cars because we always had like 3 or 4 cars. And because I told him, yeah, someone stole my battery, man. He goes, what? I go, yeah. I parked at the parking ride and some assholes stole my battery. So my dad came and got me, put the battery in, so we can get home. And then I had to go buy a new battery again. So, speaking of batteries, and people stealing batteries, it might have been one of your friends, Nola. Are you from the Hesperia, Apple Valley, Victorville, the Victor Valley area in California? DPD 5844 says, TJ, do you like seafood boils? Because that's something you could prepare in your big pot. I don't even know what that is. It doesn't sound very good. Anything called a boil doesn't sound good to me. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. It's probably, but I'm sure, me, I'm Mr. Negative. It's probably something delicious. Aaron West is here. All righty. Aaron's here. Jolie's here. So you know what that means. We're at full mod capacity. Full mod capacity. Full mod capacity. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks, Aaron, for coming in. I do appreciate you. I know you were up late last night, by the way. Like 3 in the morning, and you were still up, 3:30. It's crazy. Crazy. Barefoot Bear says, I regret killing bugs. I don't lose sleep, but would prefer not to. I don't regret killing bugs because I'm like, look, this is where I live. You guys don't belong here. You have all the outdoors you want. Take the outdoors, but when you come in here and I see you, I'm going to kill you. But on that note, I haven't seen, now knock on wood, I haven't seen any bugs for several days now. Maybe those combat traps are finally, not finally, but are really working, because I haven't seen hide nor hair of a bug in, I don't know, 5 days, a week. Not since the last one I told you guys about. I saw in the bathroom that my first reaction was to kill it, but then I thought, no, not gonna kill it, not gonna do it. I'm gonna let it go, find the trap, bring back the bait back to the nest, and kill all of its kin. Roxanne79 says, TJ, I understand you are a trucker. You've been on the road more than me. I was only going like 5. I didn't. Yeah, I'm not. I don't mean to single you out like that, or or try to make it like you're a menace because you tried to, because you didn't want to hit a squirrel. I mean, I didn't really mean that. I mean, it just I'm just saying, if you can avoid them, avoid it. But I know some people are very sensitive. I know my ex-wife would be like just driving along, and you would see a dead dog on the side of the road, like nothing that we had nothing to do with it. It was already dead, and my ex-wife would just kind of quietly weep. I would be, I'd look over and I'm like, are you crying? And is it from the dog that we saw 20 miles ago? She's like, yeah. So these things really affect people differently. I'm like, I forgot all about the dog. You know, don't get me wrong, I love dogs, but I can't cry over every one that I see dead. I would never stop crying. Um, Bob Newell, are you leased with the new chair? I don't even know what that question means. Is that how long it's been that you haven't seen my chair? How long were you in lockup, man? I've had this chair for a few months now. William says Mr. Pink didn't tip. Yeah, in Reservoir Dogs. That motherfucker. DPD 5844 says, did anyone hear the regime does not want any pregnant women to visit because they don't want the women to give birth here because the baby would automatically become a citizen? I think I may have seen a really quick thing I didn't read or whatever, but I think I did see a blurb or something about that. It's just more fucking disgust. I mean, they're just are they trying to just out disgust themselves? I can't wait till this fucking Trump and MAGA era is all fucking done and gone. Nola Carter says my brother used to drive a limousine. He got big tips. Yeah, limousine drivers I think get really big tips. Yeah, that's a whole different kind of clientele there. Roxanne, I had to mute the turtle slaughter. Sorry. I'm sorry, Roxanne. Damon Dog, we have lots of skunks. WW on South Padre Island. Why does South Padre Island keep coming up? Anyhow, on South Padre Island, at hatching time, you can't drive on the beach, and turtle people come out in bunches to protect baby turtles from predators. Aw. David Dog, dead skunk in the middle of the road, stinking to high heaven. With musical notes. Yeah, that was that one song by that one dude. There's a dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Or something like that. Roxanne, okay, I'm back. 70 volts. How do you get that background to come on? It's just because of the green screen, and I got backgrounds that I can choose from, or that I can put in there from my own collection. This is from my own collection of photos and illustrations, things of that nature. Bob Newell, Gallagher, rest in peace. I saw Gallagher at the Riviera. Wow, there you go. I met Gallagher at the Albuquerque airport in, what was it, 1987? Yeah, I actually met him and shook his hand and said hello. My uh, teammate from the football team at New Mexico Highlands University, where I played football, I took him down to the airport because I was like one of the only people that had a car because I drove out. I didn't fly out. I drove out to California. Packed my little tiny Honda Civic, the little tiny ones from the 80s, those little tiny ones. That's what I had, and I packed all my shit in that car. And I drove out to Las Vegas, New Mexico. And like I've said before, the only two places I've ever lived out of California, uh, where I took up residence, they're both named Las Vegas, two different towns. But they're in two different states. One's in New Mexico and one's in Nevada. Anyhow, I took Moses Paskowitz. He was a teammate and a friend, I guess, whatever. Yeah, friend. We used to party together. He was going, I think, for Thanksgiving. I think I was staying home for Thanksgiving. I was staying at the dorm. I didn't go home for Thanksgiving. A lot of kids would go home during the Thanksgiving break, and I took Moses down to the airport. It's a couple-hour drive, I guess, from Las Vegas, New Mexico to Albuquerque. And Moses paid for gas, and he paid for my breakfast, and so that was cool. And I was like, "That's cool." That's what I said then. That's what I said now. And yeah, we were at the Albuquerque airport, and I think we just had breakfast there. I think they had a little diner in there or something. And I remember across the other side of the diner was Gallagher, and Moses goes, "Hey, I don't believe it. There's Gallagher." And I look over and I see Gallagher. I go, "Yeah, that's Gallagher, all right." He goes, I know Gallagher. I know him." And I go, "Fuck you, you don't know him." He goes, "Yeah, I know him." He goes, he's like, "Fuck you, I know him. I know him very well." And I'm like, "Fuck you, you don't know him very well." He goes, "Yeah, I do." He goes, "Watch this." So he gets up, walks across the thing, and just sits down at the table of Gallagher's table. And I was just sitting at our, back where I was at. I'm just watching this, and he just sits down, and then Gallagher, his face lights up. He like smiles because he sees someone that he knows him, and I think they shook hands, and he just sits down, and they just start talking, and I'm just going, "Fuck, he knows Gallagher. He does know Gallagher." And then Moses looked over at me, and he's like, like waves me over. He goes, "Come here." So I get up, I go over there, and I sit down at the table with him. And Moses goes, "Yeah, this is my friend John. He plays football with me." And Gallagher goes, "Nice to meet you." And I shook my hand. I go, "Hey, nice to meet you too, man." Then I just sat down there, and they had a little conversation. I just sort of just listened. I didn't know what to say. And then I think Gallagher had to go get his plane, and then Moses had to get his plane, and I had to go back up to the dorm up in Las Vegas. So that's my Gallagher story. That's worth the price of admission, I think. I think that's probably worth the price of admission. DBD 5844 says, "I have killed one animal in my life, and it was by accident. I slammed the door out of anger, and a kitten was coming through the door. That incident changed me forever. I was 7 years old, and I still feel it." Oh, wow. Yeah. See, you're 7. You're just innocent, and you killed a little kitty. Yeah. That was you remember that to this day. Yeah. Hopefully it changed you, like, in a good way, right? Where you don't let your anger get the best of you. So I guess that was a good lesson. I need to learn that lesson. Still to this day at 65, I need to learn that lesson. David Dog, my cats don't go in the road. They mostly play in the woods behind the house. They're all fat and lazy now. WW sounds fine. Victor Harshman says his dog got sprayed by a skunk. Friend told us to bathe it in mouthwash, and it completely took the smell away instantly. Wow. Is that a good, what the kids would call a hack? A good hack? Sandy Fulton says my cats are indoor cats. David Dog says, I got to remember that, Victor Harshman, because the milk cure didn't work. Nick Rich 1007. So what am I, like 16 minutes behind? 16 minutes behind you, Nick Rich. I'm 16 minutes behind you. WW says I had a fancy stereo in my Firebird, stolen twice. Yeah, Victor Harshman says judge orders ICE to free Kumar Abrego Garcia now. Yeah, we sort of touched on that earlier. I think I went off on some tangent or whatever. Oh, I was saying about how I hope all these fuckers sue all these people that are being mistreated like this. I hope they sue the fuck out of whether it's the federal government or whether it's individuals, whatever, man. Aaron West says I got about 5 hours of sleep. Truth be told, I only got about 4 hours of sleep. Damon Dog says 36 watching, 26 likes. What the actual fuck? We got 31 watching, 29 thumbs ups. We are acting a little bit like skeezy, slimy, dirty Republicans, aren't we? Hope you guys are proud. Because that's we're at a deficit. That's what Republicans like to be. They like deficits. Let's act a little more like responsible Democrats, please, and at least get to a balanced budget with those thumbs ups. Aaron West, I got A's in both classes. Awesome. Aaron, the A student, straight A student. Good job, Aaron. Victor Harshman says, it wasn't Grandma that got ran over by the reindeer. It was Grandma got ran over by Trucker John. Sandy Phillips, TJ, what are you going to do if the next president is worse than Trump? I know, right? I didn't think there would be a worse president than Bush. And then Trump said, hold my beer. If the next president is worse than Trump, I don't know, Sandy. I don't know. I just throw my hands up in the air and say, I give up, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'll be a quitter and I'll just give up at that point. I mean, what are you going to do? But we can't give up, guys. We can't give up. We can't give up. DPD 5844 says, TJ, seafood boil consists of water, lemon, Old Bay seasoning, potatoes, corn, shrimp, smoked sausage crab legs, garlic lobster, crawfish, cayenne pepper, boil, drain, and place newspaper on a table. Unload. Oh, unload. Okay, there's a continuation. Unload the pot and enjoy. Let me show you my pot I got. I'm going to show you my pot. You guys talk about pot. I'm going to show you my pot. Look at this bad boy. This is the pot I got. I don't think I'm ever going to need a pot this size for just me. But there it is. This is my pot. Pot talk. There you go. MJ Daniel, Dead Puppies Are No Fun, old Dr. Demento song. I remember that song. Christy Nome took it as a challenge. WW. This is like an old Elvis song. A little less conversation, a little more action. You are. Oh, well, this part's not part of the song. You are a good friend to walk him into the airport. If I am dropping them off, I don't park. Yeah. Well, he said he was going to buy me breakfast, and that's where we got breakfast. Was at the airport because he had time. You know, we had time to kill, and I was like, "I'm getting my breakfast. You owe me a breakfast." So, otherwise, I would have just dropped him off. I mean, he could have gave me $5 because back in those days, you could probably get a breakfast for $5 or $10, and he could have said, "Here, go get breakfast." But anyhow, we went in and had breakfast. You know, plus he paid for gas. So. DPD 5844 says it changed me for the better, TJ. Every animal I see, I view as mine, which is something that my husband wish I would change. I know it's tricky. Like, I feel bad for like cats and dogs that are just running wild, and you want to take care of them all, but then I'm like, I can't do that. That thought leaves my head kind of quickly. But no, yeah, I get it. I get it. That's kind of the way my ex-wife was like. Like, she wanted to take care of every stray, you know, which is, you know, it's not a bad quality, but it could be impractical. WW says, good for pasta. You are official householder. That's what I thought. I mean, you could just think of all the spaghetti you could make in this. You could have spaghetti for days and days. You know, you just bag it up and refrigerate it, the spaghetti. You know. I used to work at a restaurant. I was a cook. And I would make the spaghetti, and then we would package it in little Ziploc baggies, like, you know, to the for the serving size, and you would just refrigerate those, and then for the day, like it's like we did it every day. We didn't hold them over like the next day. It was just for that day. And then whenever anyone would order anything with spaghetti or any kind of pasta, we had it all bagged up, ready to go. And then as soon as you just kind of like reboil it, and it would just reconstitute it or whatever, you know. I know DPD's going, you were a cook? I don't believe you. I was a cook, but I was like an assistant cook, and I was learning some dishes. I was learning. It was a little Greek restaurant, and they were the real cook was like, she was like it was a lady, and she was like a fucking chef, but she was teaching me all these little things. Of course, that's 40-something years ago, so I forgot all of it by now. And she was trying. I remember she was teaching me how to make the Susaki sauce. Is that what it's called? Susaki, the stuff that you put on your gyros, the Greek gyros sandwiches. I remember making that, but I don't know how to make it now. Like I said, that's been 45 years ago or whatever, 40-something years ago. And I only did that job, I don't know, like 6 months. And then I ended up quitting or going some other job. I bounced around a lot. Jolie's back. Oh, and then Aaron says, I hope Jolie gets back. I have a meeting. Well, Jolie's back. So that worked out. You're laughing out loud, yeah. WW thumbs, please. We need your thumbs. Well, now we are at a balanced budget, but we did it by having 2 people leave. So whatever. Aaron West, I love Greek food. DBD says, I believe you, DJ. Because the reason I said that is because you're always telling me how to cook stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't know how to do that. Are you kidding me? You kidding me? I guess I'm caught up in the chat. Show's over, folks. WW yogurt sauce, good stuff. No, it's Sasaki. We made it from scratch. Every ingredient of that Sasaki sauce or whatever it's called, I can't remember the name of it. That goes on a gyro. Have you ever had a gyro? Not a gyro, a gyros sandwich. I mean, that's got like pickles and I forget the ingredients, but we made that from scratch every day, every morning. That was the freshly made Sasaki sauce. Aaron West says, Sasaki, whatever it's called. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but at the time I did. WW says, me too, Westy. I like gyros. And we had the meat there. It was all great meat that they had brought in. And, it was like this lamb and beef combo of meat. It's really good stuff. Nefarious Enough is here. Hi, John. Good to see you again. Hello, Nefarious Enough. Good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. WW says, our Greek restaurant has lamb chops. Very good. And they probably use some of those lamb chops to put in their gyros. It's a combination of lamb and beef. The meat that is what goes into the gyros. The gyro. Victor Harshman says Senate fails to advance bills to avert massive Obamacare premium hikes for millions of Americans. 25 million Americans, I believe, it affects. Will this be the wake-up call to people who voted for this motherfucker? And for all Republicans, not just voting for Trump, but voting for any Republican. This is what you get, WW. This is what we get when we vote for Republicans. We get our health care premiums jacked up to the point where we can't even afford them. William says, I like halal food. I don't even know what that is. Mr. Buck says, when I was 10, 11 years old, came home from school once, asked Mom what smelled so good. She said, look in the pot, took the lid off, and a pig's head was staring at me. Oh my God. Best head cheese I ever had. Oh, it just sounds so gross, though. It sounds so gross. I don't think I've ever had head cheese, actually. I hear people talk about it, but DPD5844 says, has anyone ever had cheeseburger soup? I know it sounds gross, but trust me, it's delicious. I think I might have had Campbell's. I think Campbell's had like a soup with tiny little burger, looked like little burger patties in it. I don't know if there was cheese in it. That sounds like something canned, I think I got. That had tiny little burger patties in it. And it was a soup. WW, my premiums haven't changed much, but yeah, they're not going to change until after the new year, till January, anyhow. But I did get a good raise. Sandy Foltz says, when I worked at different restaurants, I had watched the cooks make different things, and I made it at home. There you go. Yeah, you could learn that way. You don't need to go to some fancy chef school. Just watch the cooks where you work. Victor Harshman says our ACA insurance going up $250 a month, which is a lot for us. Fuck them. I know. So what are people going to do? Just go without insurance, I guess. If you can't afford it. I mean, you know, this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad stuff here. And Trump always says he's got concepts of a plan. He's got the plan, concepts of a plan. People ask him for the plan. He goes, well, we have concepts of the plan. We're going to put a plan out in 2 weeks. He's never put a plan out. He's never put a goddamn plan out. His only plan is to just, go along with the big insurance companies and let them have their way. And fuck people if the people can't afford it. They can't afford health care. Fuck it. That's his plan. Like Alan Grayson said, if you get sick, then die quickly. That's the Republican plan. Nola Carr says Chunky has little burgers. I think that's what I had. Aaron West, Wendy's uses their day-old hamburgers to make their chili. I know. I worked at Wendy's when I was a senior in high school. I was employee of the month one time. I know all about it. And it's not, and people say that like it's bad, but it's not really, there's nothing really wrong with it, I don't think. And it's not necessarily day old, but as you're cooking the burgers, let's say you put a bunch of patties on the grill, and then because you saw a bunch of people walk in, but then some people didn't order burgers, or they ordered chicken, or they ordered something else. So then you have, let's say you got 2 or 3 extra patties, and then you got to do something. You can't just keep them on the grill, so you put them in this little, stainless steel little pot thingy. You just put those. Well, actually, there's a little slot, but underneath it is the stainless steel little container. You just put those patties down that slot because they're dry. Because Wendy's is hot and juicy, and after they've been on the grill too long, they become just kind of overcooked and dry. So you put them in. You just set them aside, and then as they goes on, then there's a container back in the walk-in refrigerator, one of those big plastic round tub things, and you just put those in there. And then then the morning crew, because sometimes I would close and sometimes I would open, so I know all about it. And this is again 45 years ago. This is when I was in high school, so I might forget a little bit. But then you, as part of your opening, you take all those burger patties that are in that container, and you just chop them up, and because then you've got a big pot, kind of like this, but like even bigger than this, like probably even way bigger than this, and you've got like chili simmering on the stove, and then you take those hamburger patties, because the chili is just like the beans and the sauce, like the sauce that it cooks in, and you take those hamburger patties and you take a big kind of spatula thing, and you just chop those patties up into little pieces. You just chop them up, and then you just pour it right into the chili, and you let it cook in with that chili, the chili beans. And I think it's delicious. So I know when people say, "Oh, they use the day-old meat," I mean, it's still good. It was refrigerated, and it cooks right up. I mean, it's so I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I haven't had any Wendy's chili in a few years. It's been like when I was on the road driving, I would eat at Wendy's every now and then, and I would get the chili, and I never had any problems with it. But I know all about how the Wendy's makes the chili. William says tomato soup and grilled cheese is the real deal. Oh, absolutely. So my mom would always make me when I was homesick, from school as a little, elementary school kid, or probably even up to high school. Tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich, man. DPD54 says, no, TJ, this is authentic, made from scratch. I don't know. I don't even remember what that was about. Oh, I forget what that was about. Oh, about the cheeseburger soup. I haven't had homemade made from scratch, but it's probably good. It's probably pretty good. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Mr. Spock says we had two pigs. I forget their names. I think maybe Snowball and Napoleon. Laughing out loud. WW says, what happens when the next recession comes and everybody starts doing without? Well, then I guess we ride it out. We ride out the hard times. Some way, somehow. We'll get through it. Aaron West says the state treasurer is set to expect premium hikes again in 2027 for the North Carolina State Health Plan. They are already doubling in 2026. And this is a great opportunity for Democrats to come out and say, hey, look, vote for us, get us the numbers we need, and we will get a public option. Let's get a public option through. Run on that. And affordability, because that is about affordability too. Petrazi 1920s here. Hey, Petrazi, good to see you. Petrazi says, hey, TJ and chat, I love your Christina scene. Christmas scene. Thank you. It's kind of cool. Very, very cozy. I would love to be in a cabin like that, up in the mountains like that. That would be nice. DPD 5844 says that someone should remind Congress that the Senate that we, the taxpayers, are the ones paying for their motherfucking health care. Maybe we should all revolt from paying taxes. TikTok motherfuckers. Yeah, it might come to that. There might come to some kind of revolt where we finally all come together and we've just had enough. And those motherfuckers that you speak of, that's the thing they fear most. That's the one thing they fear the most, is that all of us, right and left and in between, that we actually all come together. That's why things like the No Kings protest, and going back to Occupy Wall Street and the 99% movements and all that, that gets their attention, because once they see us, people unifying and crossing party lines, and where it does become us against them, as far like the bottom 99% against the top 1%, and they see the bottom 99% actually coming together, that's when they know that they are fucked. And that's our best weapon, is numbers, the numbers game. If we could come together, man, let's find the issues. Things like affordability and healthcare and lack thereof. Those are the things that can bring us together. Common cause. Anna Moore says, the thing about the ACA health plan is that they cannot deny you services because of pre-existing conditions. Hopefully that's still there. I know that was one of the main provisions of the ACA. One of the best things about it. I know Republicans have been stripping away and stripping away and stripping away a lot of these provisions. I think that one is still there, and that one's probably the most important one, or one of them. One of the most important. David Dog, I just found a 100 milligram gummy still in the packaging. Mango. Alrighty. DPD 5844, let me know if I'm cursing too much. I do have a bit of a potty mouth. No, not at all. You're fine. Victor Harshman says I lived off of Wendy's chili, baked potatoes, and Frosties when I was 18, 1984, $3 meal. I do like, sometimes I when I was driving the truck, and even before that, but I mean, I don't think I've been into a Wendy's since I stopped driving, which has been almost 3 years now. But sometimes there were Wendy's like out on the road, and so in lieu of French fries, if I was tired of French fries, I would get the baked potato, and it was fine, perfectly fine. I would get butter and sour cream, and go to town, man. Sandy Folt says one of the employees of Wendy's had put some floor cleaner in the chili. Some people had ate it and got sick. What the fuck, Sandy? Why would someone do that? That's disgusting. I hope that person got in big trouble for that. That's scary, too, to think about that. Petrazi, 1920, says, I'm making chili for dinner tonight. Or tonight for dinner. Well, look at there. See, we talked about chili, and you're making chili. Anna Moore says that is what DJT wants us to do, to revolt so that he can declare martial law. Well, we can revolt peacefully. I think he wants us to revolt violently. But we don't have, when you got the numbers, you don't have to do anything violently. We can just fucking sit our asses down in unison. The unison parts, doing boycotts. We could shut the country down. If everyone just said, fuck it, I'm not going to work, I'm not driving my truck, I'm not delivering shit. I'm not going to the airport, I'm not gonna help with the flights, I'm not gonna help with the trains getting on time, I'm not gonna do any of that shit. We would literally shut the country down if we had enough people to do it. We don't have to take up arms, or we don't have to vandalize or do anything like that. We can do it very peacefully, just by not going along with what they want us to do. Just be their little cog in the wheel, be their grunts all the time. Damon Dog says they charge $5 a can for Wendy's chili in the grocery store. It's not the same, though. It's just better when you get it fresh. Yeah, I think so. There's something about that day-old burger meat that when you put it in the pot and you let it simmer with the chili sauce and the chili beans and everything, that it just brings the flavor back to it, I think. DPD 5854, wait, they sell Wendy's chili at the grocery store? Which chain? Oh, Nick Rich has got a phone call. All right. Thanks for being here, Nick. And say hi for me on your phone call. Tell him I said hi. Damon Dog says, DPD, ever since I went on my vehicle buying spree last week, my truck hasn't moved an inch. I love it. Now they have their own, and my truck stays parked. I never go anywhere except the grocery store once a week. Man, I want a landlord like you, Damon Dog, that buys me a car. I wish my landlords would buy me a car. Jeff Curry says, dog, amen. The canned is not near as good. Hey, there's Jeff Curry, by the way. Hello, Jeff Curry. The talk of the Wendy's chili in the can brought Jeff Curry out of the darkness. Josh Sees is here. Hey, always good to see Josh Sees. I saw Josh last night, I believe, in the live stream. Josh says, hey, Lounger's been listening from the car, home now. Thanks for popping on in. I think I might end the show a little early. I am getting really tired. I only got 4 hours of sleep. I'm thinking about taking a little nappy poo. And then maybe going back out to work today. See if I can make some more money. You know, it's nice coming home with, $70 in tips. And Cowboy Christmas is only a few more days. And the Cowboy Christmas, the brought on, by the National Finals Rodeo, it really does make things busy. And the busier things are, the better chances of getting better tips, I guess. I don't know. Mr. Spock, liver mush sounds like a doctor diagnosis. I'm sorry to say, but years of alcohol abuse, you have developed liver mush. Is liver mush? What is liver mush? Is that like liverwurst? Because I don't mind a little liverwurst every now and then. Jeff Curry, I don't know Wendy politics. Don't care. They have Frosties. Yeah, I know. I like the Frosties. I like Wendy's. Like I worked there when I was in high school. I was employee of the month. God damn it. Nola Carter says I've been up for about 40 hours. Nola, you okay? How you doing? How you holding up? Are you trying to break a record or something? Go take a nap or something. I don't know. DVD 5844. I know. I feel the same way, Jeff. Aaron says my meeting just rescheduled, but I do need to walk the dog real quick. Be right back. All right, go walk the doggy. Go walk your doggy. The coffee's still hot. These are great. I poured this coffee over an hour ago, almost 2 hours ago, and it's still hot. No corns. I have GERD, can't sleep. I don't know what GERD is. And I hope I never do, because I want to sleep. Okay, I'm caught up, so that's the show. Josh Sees, I remember hearing that Wendy's chicken is that factory cage stuff where they can't move. I don't remember where they got the chicken, but I'm sure they don't give a fuck. They just want to get the chicken. I really don't, and I'm not even sure if we had chicken back in 1979. Actually, I think I did mention chicken earlier. I think we just had burgers. I'm not sure if we had chicken. And we used to have a salad bar. I don't think they have a salad bar anymore. We had the salad bar. Squirrel Girl's here. $5 super chat. Yippee, Squirrel Girl. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. That puts us 4/5 of the way to the goal, by the way. Squirrel Girl says, hi, trucklers and TJ late, but here's my tip for the cab ride, laughing out loud. Thank you so much, Squirrel Girl. I'll give you a like and a heart. Thanks, Squirrel Girl. Yeah, Squirrel Girl was coming along last night on the taxi ride. DPD 5844, have you tried Culver's custards and shakes and malts? I have. I've had the custards. I don't know if I've had a shake or a malt. I think I may have had I think I did. You know what? I think I did try the chocolate malt because I wanted to see what the difference was between a chocolate malt and a chocolate shake. And I'm not sure if I could tell the difference. To tell the truth, I don't know, or maybe I did tell the difference. And I had the custard, like the chocolate custard. I was trying to figure out what's a custard. This looks like soft serve ice cream to me. I still don't know what these things are, but they taste very good. Mr. Spock, that's a KFC chicken, 6 weeks old. All right, guys, let's not get gross. I eat at KFC also. Oh, Nola Carr says geogastrial reflux disease. Wow. Darn it, Nola. I'm sorry you have that. It doesn't sound very fun. And I hope that there's some cure for you or something, because you need your sleep, girl. Lady, guy. I mean, gal. Them, they. You need your sleep. So I hope you can get whatever care you need for that. Jeff Curry says Deputy Culver's has root beer custard every once in a while. I thank all the employees. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Test, test, test. I've got testing. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, so now we're just on the regular phone mic there. How much of that did you miss? Did you guys get my Monster Energy story? Everyone's like, I'm deaf. I've gotten deaf. Can't hear you. I'm muted. Words of wisdom already. All right, you guys. That's funny. Well, this time I caught it. And I think it was Jolie's big thing of bombs there. It really caught my attention. Well, actually, just before that, I saw, because I read, your mic is out. Somebody said that. Might have been PDG 200 LBFE. Thank you, PDG LBFE. Did you guys hear my Monster Energy drink? I'm just wondering, did you hear my Monster Energy drink story? And maybe I don't need to do it. Maybe I should just be glad that you didn't hear it. Trucker John Mime stream. See, I wasn't, Mr. Box says 30 minutes behind. I wasn't 30 minutes behind, though. I was pretty close, pretty caught up. Sunny Folds, yes. No, Carnes, I ate 2 cookies and that kicked it in. Really, cookies does it, huh? Josh, no Monster story. You didn't hear you didn't hear my Monster Energy drink story? I hate it when I forget to, I don't do it very often, but every now and then I forget to plug this thing after the show. Every now and then. Anyhow, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, Jolie's right, everybody. We got the channel memberships starting as low as $1.99 a month. Like, subscribe, share. Put in some comments. I know sometimes you guys are working and lurking and you can't do that, but if you ever, as soon as you have a chance, just, come in and say hello. Hype the show if you can hype it. All that good stuff. We've got Buy Me a Coffee and we have PayPal links there too also. Help the show grow. We got 4/5 of the way on our goal today. That's very, very nice of you guys. I appreciate you. I think I am going to call in. We're almost at 2 hours and I am getting very low energy. I'm not sure if I want to just go lay down or if I want to get something to eat because I'm getting hungry and tired. And before you know it, I'm going to be hangry. But at least I got a pot to not to piss in. I have a toilet, so I have a pot to cook in. To cook things in and make things. Yeah, Nola Karn says, I really have to watch what I eat. No coffee, tea, milk, products, etc. That almost sounds like you're lactose intolerant. Russ says, I got a bunch of tacos on my way home. Now I want tacos. All right, guys. Hey, look at there. Oh, we made the goal. Squirrel Girl, $2. Thank you so much, Squirrel Girl. Yippee. Doing double duty. Thank you so much. We made the goal. 5 for 5. I appreciate you. So, yeah, let me, and the thing is, I can look at the fan funding. Thank you, WW, for $2.22 super chat. Sandy Foltz, thank you so much. Nola Carnes, both of those were $2 super chats. Squirrel Girl coming in twice with a $5 and a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Yippee going out to all y'alls. I do appreciate you. And let's see. So today's Thursday. If I go out tonight, I might drop a live stream. I kind of like doing that. It kind of helps the time pass by. It's kind of like, I got all my friends with me in the car. And last night, I wasn't expecting them to drop by, but actually, Tough Cookie and Paul the Purple Bird guy actually hopped into the car, into the cab. I was not expecting that. I guess they must have been at Caesars hanging out and then they saw me and they hopped into the car. So you never know. You just never know. Might see those guys. But so if I go out tonight, if I don't go live tonight, that means I just got too tired and I didn't go out. And then tomorrow's Friday, right? I probably won't do a live stream tomorrow because I found that if I do a live stream, it would probably be at 11 a.m., probably after House Sparks. And if I do the live stream, then I probably won't go to work. And I probably would for sure should go to work tomorrow on Friday night. Still, we still have the rodeo going and everything else. So for sure, I want to make sure I work tomorrow. So probably no live stream, but I think I'll probably do a live stream on Saturday. So maybe tonight, just be on the lookout. We're on be on the lookout stage here for these things. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow night, and then Saturday we'll do like the regular show. All right, Josh says tough cookie should have woken up that quiet couple. Yeah, there was that they were like the older folks. I think they were very quiet. DVD says you should rest, TJ. Enjoy a meal and kick your feet up. And if you go out, wear a mask and keep lots of hand sanitizer. I know. I still have leftovers from COVID. I've got tons and tons of those little bottles of hand sanitizer. And I have tons and tons of masks, but I probably won't wear it. But you're right. So let's do the live stream on Friday after 11 a.m. Well, if I do it after 11 a.m., it'll probably be on the road in the cab. And it says if you do a live stream tonight, can you make it earlier in the midnight? Well, yeah. Well, probably not because Liberal Dan's coming on, and I don't want to step on, or whatever you call it, whatever the term is, on Liberal Dan's show. That's why last night I waited till 8, because Dan usually goes like my time, 6 to 8. Your guys' time different, whatever it is. And now he's doing Thursdays. So if I did go out tonight, it would probably be after 8. Unfortunately. I know that's late for you East Coasters. You know. But there'll probably be other live streams. Like if I go live on Friday, I don't think there's really anyone to worry about. So I could go earlier on Friday. Josh, hand sanitizer? Yeah, you've never heard of hand sanitizer? All right, guys, I guess that's it for today. Thanks for coming on in. Thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate you. If you haven't subbed, please sub. We're at 4,200, almost 4,230. Would be nice to get to 4,500. So let's help the show, and whatever ways you guys can help would be great. Liking, subscribing, sharing, hyping, commenting, all that good stuff. Try to get us to 4,500. That would be awesome. That really, really would. Yeah, come on, mofos. What's taking so long? Let's get to 4,500. What are you guys doing? Sitting on your hands? Come on, you need to tell every single person you know, and every single person they know, and then every single person that other person knows about the Trucker John live stream, and get them in here. Get them to subscribe and hang out. Come on. This is a group effort. All right? All right. And by the way, I might be in the cab. I'm a better cab driver than Trucker John is. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I've seen your driving.
tough cookie, and it's not, no, not very good. And he doesn't have a permit, so he can't drive. But anyhow, thanks for being here, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I know we're coming up on the holidays, holidays. We're coming up on the holidays. And this is going to be probably maybe not the best of holidays because of the economic times. But just know this, it's not how many presents you have under the tree. It's how many loved ones you have around the tree. Metaphorically speaking, because sometimes everyone's all over the country, if you know what I mean. But that was my words of wisdom today for Paula Purple Beard Guy. Have a good one, guys. What I'm trying to say is that I know these are trying times, but let's make the best of it, best we can. All right, Trucker John, save me. Get me out of here. All right, yeah, all right. Whew. Leave the wisdom to me. All right, guys. So yeah, just be on the lookout. Hit that notification bell. Maybe that'll help because my start times are all over the place. It's not like I've had a pretty regular schedule for the last couple of years, and now things are all kind of topsy-turvy. So I don't know what to tell you. But anyhow, I'll tell you guys again, maybe tonight, probably tomorrow, if not tonight. And then we'll see you around. We'll see you in the chat rooms. But right now, also, don't forget words of wisdom. So might want to get a pad, paper, pencil, pen, crayon, Sharpie, whatever it is, and write these down. They're pretty good. People are saying these are really good. All right, you ready? You guys ready? Okay. So today's words of wisdom are.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs. Shining a light on all the social issues. No shows, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. In my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. So you wanna take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young. But all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for lust. It's all just a big charade, it's all just one big game, and it ain't about love. It's all about the thrills, it's about staying in the hunt, it's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road, that's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows, so go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road, just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret, it'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. It's so damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life, everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot, you're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Show's over. I'm out of here, folks. Bye.